All right, it's time to talk about final persuasive speeches. So, this persuasive speech is going to differ from the one that you performed several weeks ago for me in two primary ways. The first way is that instead of a 5-minute speech, this will be a 7 to 10-minute speech, so essentially twice as long. The other way in which this will differ is that I asked you to be thinking the entire semester about what topic you could come up with that would be something that you actually genuinely cared about. So for the first speech, we just chose any topic. It could have been a serious topic, but it didn't have to be. It could have been why kittens make better pets than bunny rabbits or something. Why peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are better than turkey sandwiches or something like this. The idea was you just wanted to choose a topic that made it simple for you to build a persuasive speech around. That was the exercise. I just wanted to see you demonstrating ethos, pathos, and logos within classical rhetoric and Monroe's motivated sequence, depending on which topic you chose. Now, for this last project, I want you, again, to use the persuasive style. You're either going to rely on Monroe's motivated sequence or classical rhetoric, or you could hybrid the two. You may find opportunities within the speech where you could do ethos for something, and then you're giving me a little bit of Monroe's motivated sequence for some other component, and you kind of blended them together. I separate them for you to make them clear and to show you what the distinctions are, but you rarely hear them that succinctly in the world. You usually hear hybrids. You typically don't hear only ethos in a statement or two, or only pathos, or only logos. And even with Monroe's motivated sequence, that's never a perfectly clean operation either. It's always a little bit imperfect and kind of messy, but the basic structure is there of the 5 steps. And so that's the gist of it. Now, once you have come up with this, what I will be grading you on is not only your ability to present and give me a thoughtful, coherent presentation where you're mindful of the fundamentals, being your eyes, voice, and posture. For this format, I also want you to pay attention to the set or the area where you are producing from, especially the background. Make sure that you have decent lighting. Make sure that if you are using a laptop for your notes, for example, and let's say you wear eyeglasses, if that's just the right angle, it's going to be reflecting off of your eyeglasses. And so I'll be able to see a big blue screen in your glasses. And you'd be amazed how easily that can go unnoticed. And it's very easy to fix with just a tilt of the screen. So I recommend, if you wear eyeglasses, then set it up and have a look at it so that you can see what's going on and you know what a good angle is, where you may not be able to get it visually perfect, where you can't see anything in terms of reflection in your eyeglasses. But as long as it isn't right perfectly centered where it's completely blocking your eyes, you don't want that. And I don't think anyone's had that issue this semester, but it does come up once in a while, and I think it's an easy thing to overlook, so be careful of that. In addition to your performance, I'm going to be grading you for your ability to put together a rational, sound argument. So I'm actually going to go through the premises of your argument, and I'm going to evaluate the strength of them. I'm going to determine whether or not you have a sound argument and a valid argument. I want to make sure that you are not confusing correlation with causation. I want to make sure that you aren't relying on the Mountain-Bailey strategy. All of the things that we've talked about for the last few months have essentially been in the field of persuasion and argumentation. So have a look at the videos that I uploaded, the argumentation and debate videos. They're kind of a side project that I'm doing, but they'll be extremely helpful for this. And you can look for a 3rd video in that series to be released, I want to say Thursday evening, but it could be Friday. This is a very, very busy and hectic time of year. And so as I'm putting this together for all of you at 11 o'clock at night, I'm thinking about what I have to do the rest of the week and how much I have on my plate. So I want to give myself an extra day or two before I promise that video is to be posted. So why don't we call it Friday for that video, just to be on the safe side, though I may have it up earlier for you. Now, when you're finished, producing a script, let's say, for your final persuasive speech. I want you to make sure that you've laid it out correctly. So I have a good solid introduction, then I have the body, then I have a conclusion. Make sure that you're supporting all of your points. Make sure that you aren't using any logical fallacies. That's probably one of the most important things. I think I mentioned in the video about logical fallacies that there are hundreds of them, but most of them only apply in very unique situations that you're not likely to encounter. I gave you the logical fallacies that you're likely to hear all the time, the ones that are really, really common. There are more, but be especially careful of the ones that I gave you, because those are mistakes, and you don't want to be using that form of flawed reasoning in any type of arguing that you're doing. So be very careful of that. I think if you have a look at the videos that I produced on argumentation and debate, and you look at any of the material that is labeled either persuasion or argumentation in the last 2 months, those will keep you on course. If you have any questions for me, just send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have or give you advice, or if you need help developing a topic or whatever it is. I know it's a busy time of year, and I know that it's easy to get stuck. Your mind is in 4 different areas already, and you're trying to come up with a topic. So if you have a look on Canvas, you will see in the assignment areas anything that begins with the word, I believe it's extra or bonus, maybe one of the two. That's all just material that I encountered in my own research along the way, or side projects, whatever I was doing, that I thought would be relevant to you, or that I thought you might look at, and it might inspire you. If you can't come up with a topic, for example, have a look through the extra material, because there's a lot of just all kinds of things. There's no one topic in there. It's all over the place. And so that may inspire you to come up with a topic. You're welcome to produce a response video to a lesson if you like. I explained to you how I had launched the signature assignment, and so you were all exposed to that and got to go through it. You're welcome to provide a critique or an analysis on that for your final persuasive speech if you like. It's really up to you, and there is no limit. And I've had all kinds of projects in the past. Just to give you an example of a couple of projects that I received that were really out there. And I don't expect anyone to go this far. It's certainly not required, but I had a young woman who used the opportunity to come out as being gay to the audience, which I wasn't expecting. And so the other thing that comes to mind is someone had it's a little bit complicated, but it occurred in a foreign country, and a family member was murdered, and it was next to impossible for them to receive justice in that case. And I just felt that was a particularly emotional situation. And so, good for this person for wanting to talk about it and to have a conversation, share that with the class. I think it was probably a bit therapeutic in some ways to do that. So if that's what you want to talk about, by all means. There are no topics that are off limits in this course. This is a college course, and it's a speech class. So if you have any questions about free speech, then have a look in the syllabus in the section that I posted there on free speech, and have a look through it, because it's pretty detailed, and that should keep you on track. But I look forward to your projects, and I think this will be an easy exercise for you. If you want to score well on this one, think about including elements from the previous 4 speeches. So there were some things I asked you to do for your intro speech, not a lot. And then the informative speech, what was that all about? What did you have to do there? Then you had your first persuasive, and then you had, of course, the narrative. And so in the narrative, you were able to bring in some of your own personal style and a lot more flexibility in there. So when I get a final persuasive speech, as I'm evaluating your arguments and presentation, if I go through it and I can see that you're using elements that you've picked up along the way from other speeches, then you're going to do extremely well on it. So I wish all of you luck. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you have enough information, but if not, you know how to find me, and I'm happy to help you with any issues that you have. So good luck to you. I look forward to seeing them, and I have extended the date on that. made a correction to it rather. So make sure you look at the details on Canvas included with this video so that you know what the due dates are. And I will be producing a follow-up video after I have received and graded these. So good luck with them. I really am looking forward to these. So yeah, I'll catch up with you soon.